All right. We're about to dive into a business model that's, quietly creating millionaires all across Africa. The best part? It's a blueprint that requires almost zero capital but has absolutely massive potential. So let's get right into it. I mean, have you ever felt that stress, that constant pressure of trying to make money, trying to get ahead? But it feels like the goalposts just keep moving. It's a feeling so many ambitious people on the continent know all too well. You know the cycle, right? It's so frustrating. Your salary, it feels like it's shrinking every single quarter, especially against the dollar. And starting a traditional business, forget about it. The overhead is just crushing. Rent, inventory, all of it. You see these amazing opportunities everywhere, but you just don't have the cash to jump in. That right there is the entrepreneur's dilemma. And look, this isn't just a hunch or a bad feeling. It's the cold, hard reality. When you have youth unemployment soaring past 40% in major economies like South Africa, I mean, that's just a massive number. It tells you one thing very clearly. The old ways of doing things are broken. This isn't just your problem. It's a huge systemic issue. Okay, so if the old models are broken, what's the answer? What's the alternative? Well, it takes a complete shift in how you think. We're talking about adopting the middleman mindset. This is all about forgetting the need to own expensive things, assets, and instead focusing on owning something far more valuable, connections. So what does that actually look like in the real world? It's actually pretty simple. It's the high impact act of just connecting someone with money to a product that's in demand. You find the buyer, you find the seller, and you put the deal together. You don't own the factory, you don't risk a single dime on inventory. You just connect and you collect. Simple as that. Now, this definitely takes a certain kind of mindset, and Jack Ma, a guy who literally built an empire from scratch, he just nails it. He says entrepreneurs are the ones who get things done before everything is ready. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They jump in and see the opportunity while everyone else is still seeing the problems. And that right there leads to a really powerful question that you've got to ask yourself. The opportunity is right in front of us. The need is obviously there. So if not now, then when are you going to do it? And really, if you don't seize this, who will? Okay, enough with the theory. Let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through 3 proven middleman models that are absolutely thriving right now. And the best part is, you can start them with minimal, almost zero risk. First, let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets exciting. We are not talking about tiny little margins. A typical commission on something like an import pre-order deal, you're looking at 17%, maybe even more. And that's on a product you never even have to touch or store yourself. Pretty amazing, right? So how does this actually work? Honestly, it's genius because it's so simple. First, you find some high-demand imported goods. Think, I don't know, specialized electronics, solar gadgets, that kind of thing. Then you go out and collect orders locally. And here's the crucial part. You get a non-refundable deposit from every single client. Then you literally use your client's money to pay the supplier overseas. The goods get shipped, you deliver them, and bam, you collect your massive margin. The key to the whole thing? Zero risk. You're not spending your own money. The entire deal is funded by your customers from the start. All right, let's switch gears to an even bigger playground. We're talking about Africa's agricultural exports, which are set to blow past $70 billion a year pretty soon. Now, that's not just a statistic, okay? That is a massive river of money flowing out. And a smart middleman can plant themselves right in the middle of that flow and take a cut. And this is where the agro-export broker becomes absolutely essential. You've got foreign buyers who are desperate for high-value African crops, right? But on the other side, you've got local farmers who have no idea how to deal with all the crazy export paperwork and standards. Your job? You become that trusted bridge. You connect the buyer to the farmer, you handle all the messy logistics and paperwork, and for providing that crucial service, you take a very nice 10 to 15% cut on every single container that goes out. Okay, for our third and final model, let's follow another massive river of money, the African diaspora. People living abroad, they send over $53 billion back home every single year. And a huge chunk of that money is just sitting there looking for a safe, trustworthy way to be invested back home, usually in something real, something tangible like property. And the key word here, the whole opportunity, boils down to one thing: trust. Get this, a staggering 85% of these investors say they need a trusted person on the ground before they'll even think about buying land or property. They're terrified of being scammed, and let's be honest, even family can sometimes be tricky. So, what does that mean for you? It means they will pay a premium for your single most valuable asset, your credibility. You become their eyes, their ears, their trusted agent on the ground. Okay, look, it's easy to get carried away with all this opportunity, right? But to actually succeed, we have to be real. We've got to talk about the challenges, the real risks of doing business on the continent. But just as important, we need to understand the powerful strengths that people so often overlook. So let's get a balanced picture here. Yeah, of course, the headlines are all about corruption, crime, and stability, and those things are real challenges, no doubt about it. But what the headlines don't tell you about are the incredible strengths under the surface. We're talking about fantastic modern banking systems, strong legal frameworks where contracts actually mean something, great core infrastructure, roads, ports, and the biggest asset of all, a massive, young, hungry, and super ambitious population.
And how you think about these risks is absolutely key. Take it from Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa. He doesn't pretend corruption doesn't exist, but what he does is diagnose the real problem. He says it's not some deep moral failing, it's a result of weak institutions. And you know what? That's a problem you can actually fix.
So, how do you actually navigate all this? The advice from the people who've done it is crystal clear. Number one, get a local partner, someone who knows the lay of the land, the real ground truth. And number two, be patient. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is about building real, sustainable wealth over time. And that really brings us to the bigger picture here, because this isn't just about you making money. It's about a collective vision, a vision of a future for Africa that's built by its own people, by a new generation of entrepreneurs who are taking control of their own destiny. And this is why it's so important. Dangote puts it in really stark terms. He basically says entrepreneurship is the #1 weapon against instability. When young people have jobs, when they have opportunities, the whole appeal of extremism just evaporates. So when you create a business, you're not just creating wealth for yourself, you're literally creating peace. You're creating security. You know, this all points to a really profound shift in thinking. Vusi Thembakwile makes this incredible point. He says there has to come a time when we stop blaming the past and start talking about who is accountable for the future. It's a powerful declaration of ownership, right? It's basically saying our future is our responsibility. It's in our hands. And just think about the sheer scale of this vision. You have someone like Jack Ma who looks at Africa's young population and its incredible untapped potential, and he sees a future with not just one, but 10 or 20 new Alibabas. Can you even imagine that? The potential is just absolutely staggering. So, we're going to end right back where we started, with that same powerful question. Look, the problems are clear. The frustrations, they're very real. But the opportunity is absolutely immense. And the blueprint, the path forward, is right here in front of you. It's low risk, it's high leverage, and it's a way to build your own wealth while building the continent's future. So, the only question left to ask is, if not you, then who?